Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the one and only Grandpa's Farm. I'm your host, Rental Man Buck. With Austin being gone still, we'll cue the intro and let you guys know what a solo act's gonna look like today. I'm super excited because this is gonna be the first official cutting we're gonna be getting out of our newly converted grass ground. In the real world, hay doesn't really make you a boatload of money, but in Farm Sim, for some odd reason, it is king. At least on this map. So I am going to be taking every bit of an advantage to try and get as much grass out of this field as I can, as I'm missing the little bits of the edge. Mint. Some of the ideas I'm going to try and piece together today is I have my eyes set on picking up a sprayer for the farm. Now, a self-propelled one, while that might be nice, is just going to be extended maintenance. It's going to cost us a lot more, and quite frankly, we just don't have enough people to really be driving that much stuff, or really the ability to store it. So I'm on the opt for looking at a pull-behind sprayer, and I had my eyes set on something that the co-op looks like they have. It costs only about, I think it was 9 or 11 grand. Being the oh-so-nice brother that I am, I'm not going to take any money from Austin, so right now we only have 15 grand to work with. That's not enough of a savings account to really be going and buying something worth almost 10 grand. So we're going to do our first cutting of hay, get this field all nice and cut, raked, baled, and then sold. I don't know what kind of voodoo trick we pulled on the crops, but for some odd reason, we have absolutely zero weeds in our fields. Before everybody gets mad at me in the comments, you're driving on the crop, you're not supposed to do it that way. I originally did that for the first round over there because I kind of had to, and then this one I just forgot. So to all the farming police, get mad at me. I'm driving right on the grass, compacting it. Fight me. With natural order now being restored, if we look at our bottom left, the work that we have been doing between pH balancing as well as our overseeding, our yield is looking tremendously better out of this ground. While this is still yellow, it's better compared to the red that we were pulling last time. The farm has been looking for an expansion tractor to ease its operation load on the two main workhorses. Austin's been on the hunt for a Moline, but I have my eyes set on a rather local Oliver. For those that have been around my hay farm series, you would know that we used a 1755 Oliver. This is a slightly smaller variant though. It is the 1555. It has about 3,700 hours on it. The wheels are a bit smaller and it only has a canopy to my knowledge. Honestly, would be a great smaller tractor that was more powerful than our 3010, but still big enough to do tasks around the farm, like possibly pull the baler in case of short times and when a tractor goes down. Or we just need something around the farm to do some extra leg pulling. I gotta say, I'm probably not the best candidate to be doing the mowing. That's usually what Austin does, so I might be a little rusty. Missing some blades here, missing some blades there. Who all cares? We're doing this anyway. If you guys do enjoy Grandpa's Farm and you love Austin and I's shenanigans, he should hopefully be back by the next episode. Be sure to head down below, possibly hit that like button, and smash that subscribe button. We just rolled over 92,000 public subs earlier this week, and I can't thank you guys enough. We are on the race to 100,000 by the end of the year, and we might be able to make it happen, but you know what? It'll come in due time. Trying to find something I can use as a gauge, and I think the top half of the front loader, if I put that right on the edge of the grass line, that's right where I need to be. And that's looking about right. So that will be my gauge, is if I know the front loader's on the edge of the uncut grass, then we're right on the money. Being on this farm without Austin, though, actually kind of feels weird now. The original episode we did, no one was on this farm except me, so I got stuck with all the work. Now I'm back to doing the same thing, but at least we have a bit more of a stable operation to be working with. I still miss the 3010, and I'm sure some of you guys do as well. But get creative in the comments. What has been the absolute favorite part about the Grandpa series, and why has it really become the staple of the channel for the end of 22's life cycle and the front runner to lead us into FS25? I can see where Austin and I's bickering really has excited you guys and brought back the OG vibes that come from the series like County Line or even the Years series with Grant. But to you personally, what has made Grandpa's Farm be as memorable as it has been? While you guys are conjuring up some results for that question, I'm gonna get myself into high gear, get this grass all laid down, and I'll see you guys back when we might be able to start baling, because the raking process is just gonna be a rinse, wash, repeat of what we're doing right now.
A few moments later.
I gotta say though, before we swap over to the rake, it's honestly a really good looking cut. You know what? Scratch that. Why on earth would we swap off to the rake when we could probably and should probably just go and cut that brand new ground that we got? It gives you guys a little bit of a preview on what our plans are for it, and we also can overlook the property once again and finally have some actual content be based on it. Poor Austin, man, the one time he's gone and I gotta record this all, I'm digging right into all of the brand new stuff to the farm. Could we go and mow the county roadsides again? Absolutely, just gotta get clearance, but I'm focused right now more on our own property's land. Why on earth would we not use it? Yard's looking pretty nice if you ask me. We got all this stuff from this road over to the sawmill. We did give the sawmill a call. They did say we are able to cut that grass about 10 feet up to those tree lines, as that's about the cutoff line they're willing to give to us for free. But here's the garage. It'll be a great place to store some of our extra machinery. Before you guys freak out and go, that's not the same garage, I'm well aware of that. That is because the garage before, I knew this. We couldn't open the doors, so I found a garage that was close to the same size, but also it looked like the old one, so yes, this one is bigger. Kinda cheated, but now we have a functioning garage that we could store seed, we could store whatever, and I cannot delete those, so we're stuck with the fuel tanks. My divine plan is that we're going to cut this in 2 sections until we do any sort of work with the trees behind the shed to make it where we can cut this all in one fell swoop. I'll give it to Austin. He knows how to run this mower a lot better than I do in terms of judging turns. So if the lines on this part of the field are going to look really rough, I'm sorry. This is not my forte. Credit is given where credit is due. I don't expect much to really come out of this land, mainly because we have done absolutely nothing to it, and this has just sat here for years. And who really knows what has been on this grass because it sits so close to the public park and all the residentials with the overspray from other chemicals. We might extend out the beginning of the driveway where we'll have more room to get in the doors. I don't know what I'm going to do with this driveway entrance because, while yes, it'd be nice to have an extra entryway, it's already 3/4 of the way covered with grass anyway. That one I'll wait on Austin to get his opinion on it. We could probably just cover it back up and only have the one entranceway. I think now, though, we'll jump to when we kind of can get the rake going and possibly even just go right to the baling. There's just quite a bit of work to do that's pretty repetitive, so I don't want you guys to have to sit there in boredom. This isn't your high school math class, okay? I got bored too. That's why I'm going to do all the boring work for you. And get that done. And that. That. And that. The difference of time between the first clip and this clip was easily over an hour and a half. I'm about ready to just go and eat something because I am very hungry. Now it's time to go grab the baler and stack this rack full. This better be well over $10,000 worth of bales because I do not want to have to go and mow and rake anymore today. All right, this sucks. It's amazing how much can actually get done when you have 2 people working the job site. This should be some very, very good yielding stuff. The pickup might not get all of it in one fell swoop, but if we ain't gonna get some good results out of this, I'm gonna be very disappointed. Could we also be pulling this with Austin's tractor? Yes, but I wouldn't want to put hours on the pretty boy's machine while he's away. That might get me in trouble. So I'm just gonna do this the right way and use Team Deer to knock this field out. We'll cue the time lapse so you guys can watch as the bales stack up alongside the trailer. And hopefully this will take not nearly as long as the raking did, because that was torturous. We got one full rack and we still got a handful of lines to go. That's perfect. At this point, I'm just hoping that each trailer brings at minimum 15,000. If that's the case, we're going to be sitting very, very, very pretty. $16,800. That'll work for me. Let's keep this ball rolling. To note how I actually raked these fields, on the outside passes, there were 2 outsides on this one, and I believe on all the other ones it's like 1.5 or something. But for the most part, the outsides and the main parts of these fields were 3 rows mixed together to make the outside row. All of these middle ones are either 4 or 5 rows wide, all shuffled into one massive swath. So if I don't get close to 50% out of these lines by the end of this field, I'd be pretty surprised. This line I know is a 4-banger, but I think that last one was easily 5 rows in one. I put a lot of grass in those swaths. We very easily could get about 2.5 trailers out of these plots, which is astronomical for my finances. Because in addition to the 11 grand contract that we did earlier in the spring, I'd be able to purchase a heck of a lot more supplies. And I'm not too concerned with that 48% because don't worry, we'll definitely be able to fill it up to that point. We got enough scraps hanging around this field, even just on the outside pass. Those all picked up. We did achieve our 50%. Let's head south and see what else we can get. Gonna start on this one by cleaning up my mess on the main roads. It'd probably be a good idea. I wish I was paying a little bit more attention when I was mowing this. I think the yield, it wasn't terrible, but it certainly ain't gonna be pulling what that field was pulling. That field absolutely sucked to rake, and I almost never want to rake it again unless we can get ourselves a different rake, because it's just the shape of it. The shape of it and having to do the weird corners, they just don't work well with the baler. At least on like the middle portion or even the far side, like you can navigate the rows a little bit easier. This one, it's just, oh, it was twist and turn, twist, turn, twist, twist, turn. I mean, you could not go one singular direction to save your life. And it's even showing here. We are yielding better on the return than I thought we would, so I guess I can't complain too much about the rows. And there is a second full rack. I bet you we only get maybe 20 or 30 more bills, but hey, that's still over $32,000 in my pocket. I will take that. I don't think that makes up for almost 2.5 hours worth of just hay work, but you know what? Like I said, we'll take it. Those sold off. I am going to show you guys this sprayer quick as it's on the opposite side of this Quonset. I'm not 100% sure how wide the booms are on this thing, but it's got a pretty big chemical tank. It's definitely been used, that's for certain, but like I said, I think they only wanted $9,000 for it, so it's really not that bad of a deal. And for the size of fields that we're working with, this width of there's a tongue twister for you. With the size of the fields we're working with, the working width of this field, aka this thing works just fine other than the bean field, which might make this thing feel small. I'll give them a ring though once we officially get the last of these bales sold off. That way we can count our money and we know how much exactly we're going to be working with. I'm pretty certain though I'm only going to need to buy one IBC tank for the fertilizer. When you look at the precision farming for all of the nitrogen, aka the fertilizer levels, they're all pretty much maxed out. So I highly doubt it's actually going to spray a lot out of that tank. But I also could be very, very wrong. Don't really want to overspend on that if it's only going to use like a quarter of the entire tank to spray all 4 fields. I'm sure in years to come it'll definitely take more, but for right now, Our weed control is basically perfect, and because we did all of the anhydrous application at the beginning of, or the end of fall, the crops are already showing that they're going to do a massive turnaround. Now I'm really wishing that that one big field was actually beans this year. Should be coming down to our last passes. Got this little guy, and then there's a couple bigger scraggler lines I'm going to go pick up. Not a very good way to start it. I bet you if I really wanted to, I could probably get close to 35 bales if I raked up every single scrap. Now, I'm not going to do that in any way, shape, or form. It is not worth that amount of time. I know that's at least 24. Maybe 25? Yep, 25. I will take that. Let's take those in. And I will have to obviously come back to get the sprayer, but we'll buy the sprayer while we are over at the co-op, and then possibly bring home some chemical, and we'll see you guys out in the field to spray some fertilizer.
12 seconds later.
Did this mother trucker really just get all my money? Oh, I am not happy right about now. This dude had like 27,000 in that account when we bought this stuff. Oh, that's right. We technically went half and half on the bales. Well, I'm still taking my chunk because I did every last bit of that work. So he's only going to have about 27,000. I'm taking another 5 grand. This just in, for the very first time in ever, there's actually more money on Grandpa's farm than there is in Austin's bank account. That's soon to change when he gets paid from his business, but you know, I'm going to take small victories. Small victories. That was an ouchie and a half. $3,200 for that tank sitting on the back of the trailer. So that better be able to go quite a ways for us, because I ain't got much money else sitting around. Still got more money than Austin. And I will ride that high until they physically can't no more. We will obviously be cleaning off all of the implements in the yard with the one and only greatest farm sub of all time. If you guys haven't checked out Andy Clean yet, I don't know what the heck you're doing. You are missing something. You are a sad member of society. Andy's been helping keep my real life farm and all of my virtual farms as clean as possible. That 4240 has never looked better. Sometimes I get a little bit behind, but at least for times like this, I'll need as much help on the farm as I can get. Let's go pick up that sprayer, and then we'll get ready to head out to the field. I guess while putting stuff back, I forgot to note that in case for some odd reason there are any weeds that pop up and I ain't got no money, we still got this weeder. All right, we're not getting rid of that. That's our fix things before we go too far into debt. Okay, sprayer, please do not let me down now. 1, don't take all of that tank, and 2, don't use all of the tank. That's not good. That means it is a perfect ratio, but please don't use like hardly any chemical. We'll head over to the bean ground first, as it'll be probably the best test plot. If some spraying contracts do end up popping up throughout the summer, I'm more than happy to try and accept some of those to see whether or not we'll be able to get a little bit of extra moolah. Beans are looking pretty nice. It's just gonna be so difficult because look at the meters. They don't have anything wrong with them. I highly doubt this is gonna use any of it. Also, is that deleting crops? No, it's not. It's just pushing them over. I was gonna say, I was getting real concerned there for a second. Make my purchase feel somewhat useful in the corner. Never mind, it's not even spraying it. What the heck? I've officially decided. The bean ground is not going to accept any, but I bet you that grass field will. So if that's going to help us with our next cutting, then sign me up, because the more money I can get out of this field, the merrier. Why you take no? Why you take no? It's looking like only upon that roadside over there is it actually going to pick up that it needs nitrogen of some sorts. Which I don't mind, don't get me wrong, but it's kind of like, why on earth are we buying a sprayer when our fields don't even aren't even going to take anything? Oh, come on, take something, please. I wouldn't say we wasted money. I'll say that. Because I know that this is going to come in handy later on down the road. It just sucks that I dumped over 12 grand into this with my own money, and I have slightly nothing to show for it. Let's take a look at the PDA just to kind of get an idea of what's going on here. So this is why I kind of don't like precision farming for a slight reason. All of the fertilizer now becomes nitrogen. Well, Austin did all of the anhydrous work to every field before we got into planting season. So therefore, all of our fields are already fertilized for the year. Our yield, though, definitely increased on this field. This field is bound to completely rebound itself, and this one will probably do a little bit better as well. This might be, I bet the results are kind of like this. Green will become what this is. No, this will become this light green. And hopefully through maybe a little bit of application work, we can fix what's going on down here. So this one should also work a little bit better. And this one should be better. But yeah, between pH and anhydrous, all of our stuff is technically done. So I'm going to save this chemical in the tank for any sort of contract work that does come around, because that saves me having to go buy any product. You guys got to keep a low profile on this one, though. While I was down at the bar in town, somebody was telling me that they're selling their lawnmower. And I thought to myself, what kind of lawnmower are we talking about? They told me it was one of those mid-90s 445 with a snowblade, a bagger, and some bigger flotation tires. And I told this gentleman, I'm like, all right, how much we talking? Says he wants $2,800 for everything. So we're going to go take a look at that quick. Because if it does exactly what I want it to do, I'm sick and tired of using that little IH, right? It's the Cub Cadet's good, don't get me wrong, but I'm sick and tired of getting all this IH stuff on the farm. I want me some green, good old-fashioned deer, and that's it. I'm team green, Austin's team red. We ain't doing that here, all right? Oh yeah, there's the blade. That's a nice looking setup. Luckily, this is a small town where you can do U-turns and park on the side of the road. Oh yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. It feels good. It looks good. And by golly, is it more practical than that Cub Cadet. Does the Cub Cadet have a 3-point? Yes. But does the Cub Cadet have a bagger and the ability to also put a plow blade on it? I don't think so. We could also get a 3-point system and find a way to fabricate it onto this. It's not going to be the end of the world. We'll see how it sounds running first, and then we'll decide if we're going to buy it. Sold. I want it. Well, that did not take long. I guarantee you I'm going to get yelled at that I didn't need this. But quite frankly, I don't recall him doing a dang thing about where I'm at right now. I've been doing everything at the farm the last few weeks. So he can it. This is my birthday present to me. Not my birthday, but it's my early birthday present to me. So thank you guys all for tuning in to Grandpa's Farm. Hope you did enjoy this little special. As stated, Austin should hopefully be back by the next episode. That's not a guarantee, but it's the most likely thing. If he's not, then it is what it is. So be sure to check out the rest of the Grandpa's Farm playlist up in your top right-hand corner. I am your host, the Randall Man Buck. And guys, remember to always keep it light, keep it loose, keep it fresh, and most importantly, keep it fun. We'll see you guys all in the next one. This is the Rental Man out. Peace.